Uh, Wait till I get my money right. Uh, then you can't tell me nothing, right? Uh, Wait till I get my money right. Uh, uh, then you can't tell me nothing, right? Yo, check this out. I'm just gonna piggyback a little bit off of what I spoke about 2 days ago about the Kanye West situation. For those that are, supporting the brother, which I got no problem with, I just want to reiterate though that I do agree with what Kanye said about the system. I do agree with what he said about other ethnic groups when it comes to us. I agree with all that. It's true. But again, I want to reiterate that I don't agree that he has to kick us down in the process. If you want to knock somebody, knock them. Do it. But that doesn't mean you have to kick us in the process. I still say what I said before. What he said was true. But what does that got to do with what you say about us as a people, African Americans? White Lives Matter t shirts saying that George Floyd was not murdered by the police, saying that slavery was a choice. You ain't got to do all that. Knock us down in the process. And here's to the people like the Low and Greg Haley Juniors of the world that say, yeah, I agree with them. Slavery was a choice. How is slavery a choice? You mean when you're put into a situation where you have to choose between life or death, how could you say such a thing? When your choices are either you jump off the side of that ship and drown and die, or you try to run and get killed, or you rebel like many of our ancestors did. A lot of them did rebel because you only know about one story, the Nat Turner story. No, there was a lot of rebellions that went on. A lot of them. Look at Haiti today because of Toussaint. That's because of a rebellion. So yes, we did rebel. There was a lot of them that fought back because they didn't want to go to slavery. They didn't want to be a slave. But they got killed for it. And I give them much respect for rebellion and for fighting against it. I give them much respect for it. But for just as much respect as I give them for fighting to not wanting to be a slave, I give the slaves that said, you know what? I'd rather live. I give them the same amount of respect. And you better give it to them too. Because that's the reason why your black asses is here. Because they chose to live. Yeah. You say, they could have fought. They could have fought back. They didn't have to be no slave. They had a choice. But some of y'all been locked up before. You had a choice too. Because when you get locked up, you ain't nothing but a number. Just like a slave. Nothing but a number. But when they put them handcuffs on you, when they put them chains on you, did you rebel? Did you fight back? Or was you a good slave and you went off to jail? Yeah. But you're talking all that hardcore about what the slaves could have did, but you didn't fight them police when they put your ass in chains. and they brought you off to jail, why you didn't fight them back and choose to die? You didn't choose to die. You chose to live. But you want to knock the slave that chose to live, and say they had a choice. Negro, please. And for those that say, yeah, well, he gave $2 million to George Floyd's family, you act like he did that 2 days ago or 2 weeks ago. Talking about he did that before he went on Drink Champs. No, he didn't. He did that 2 years ago. Not 2 days ago, not 2 weeks ago. 2 years ago, he did that. And that money was to be divided between George Floyd's family, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery's family. It wasn't just for George Floyd. Get your facts right. So you can't come at me with that if you ain't done the work. I'm a researcher. I don't get up and I speak about things that I don't know what I'm talking about without doing my research and fact checking. I does this. You better do it too before you come at me. Because you can dispute what I said all day long, but you can't refute it. REFUTE. You can't refute it. And the difference between the two is, yeah, you could say, I don't like what he said. You could disagree with it. Yeah, you could dispute it. But when you refute it, that means you take what I've said and you can counter it with evidence to show truth that it was not right or it was wrong. You can't do that. Because before I get up and speak on it, I've already done the fact checking already. So that it can't be refuted. You can only dispute it. So don't tell me about our slaves had a choice. Your ass had a choice too. You chose to live just like they did. Get out of here with that crap. Might want to hear that. I'm out. The monologue.